Alright, boys. I've been in queue for the last like 3+ hours, almost 4 hours, for the mining update 3.0. Today's update includes a new area, the glaciite mines, and I think the glaciite mine shafts, as well as a new powder, the glaciite powder, and a ton of other new things related to mining, and not just mining. We've got some updates for farming and the foraging update as well. So make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and let's jump into it. All right, so at this point, the alpha's been out for like 5 hours, something like that. So most things I think are found. We don't have patch notes confirming everything, but we do have a lot to go over. So I'm going to jump into everything that we know of. And again, this is on the alpha server. So there's a very high chance that a lot of this will be changed before it comes to the main server. And it will probably be at least a week before this comes to the main server, unless they can patch these bugs really quickly. But let's jump into it. So first thing that we will notice is if we look in our wardrobe, this is my fishing gear, and it now has gemstone slots, and so does my farming gear. So what are these gemstone slots? So if we go to Bazaar, we can check out the new gemstones, because there are some new gemstones, and you can see there's a ton of new items in the glaciite tunnels as well. We'll get to that. If we go to gemstones, there is onyx, aquamarine, citrine, and peridot. So peridot gives farming fortune, so this is the one that you're going to want to use to upgrade your farming gear, which the farming tools do also have gemstone slots now on those as well, and so do fishing rods, as well as the tree capitator, and that would be because of some of these other gemstones. So that was peridot that gives the farming fortune. There's citrine, which gives foraging fortune. This is the one that's going to be useful for the tree capitator. Then there's aquamarine, which is the one that gives sea creature chance. Then there's onyx, which currently is bugged. It gives crit chance. It's supposed to give crit damage. So this has been talked about in the forums. It is officially from the admins. It is a bug. So it is supposed to be crit damage. So unfortunately, we don't have any upgrades for our Terminator, but it's all good. Now, if we go into our collections, you'll notice there's 3 new collections: glaciite, umber, and tungsten, which we will get into. But first, we need to warp over to the dwarven mines. We go over and talk to Gwendolyn. She'll say someone special has been asking to meet you. It's not quite sure what he's doing back in the dwarven mines. It's been years since she last saw him. Anyways, he's expecting you over in the hanging court by the royal palace. So if we warp over to the royal palace, we'll have to find Doolin, which you've got this nice little objective thing here that will point you in the right direction. So I think it's up here to the right. And if we just go this way, he should be, I think he's this guy sitting right here on the bench. So we talk to him. This is all that remains. He's looking over here at the glaciite caves where the ice walkers spawn. So I think that's going to have a lot to do with this update. He is descendant of Devon and rightful king of the dwarven mines. He'd like to sneak me in to the great ice wall, so we'll say yes. I'm glad that I've earned your trust, but I'll need you to prove yourself before entering the tunnels. The ticket master will only let you in if you have a secret railroad pass to show him. You can put one together in the dwarven forge if you can get the right materials. So if we warp over to the dwarven forge, thankfully, right now on the alpha, it only takes 5 seconds to forage anything, which there's a lot of new things which require different collections and a new Heart of the Mountain system, which we'll get into. It goes all the way up to level 10 now. I'm not sure what the max tokens are or anything like that, but it looks pretty crazy. We'll go over all these in a little bit. But there's apparently a travel scroll to the Dwarven base camp, so that's a new area. But Secret Railroad Pass requires a flawless ruby gemstone, 2 refined mithrils, and 8 corleonite. I'm sure if we warp to the hub, hopefully Centauri has these items for us. Yep, flawless ruby, corleonite, and some refined mithril. So we'll craft that. Now that it's completed, we'll take it and we'll go bring it back to Doolin. And there we go. Go show that to the Ticketmaster. He'll let you travel to the glaciite tunnels. I'll see you down there. All right, I think the Ticketmaster is referring to Gwendolyn. So we'll just run over here, give it to Gwendolyn, I think. Actually, no, the Ticketmaster is the NPC who is at the railway. So this is the station master. I'm gonna have him take me over somewhere else where this guy should be at. There we are. So we give this to him. We're part of Doolin's folk. Yes, sir. So we give him the ticket, and then we ride a minecart to the base camp right here. So we click to travel. Let's go. Dwarven base camp, new area discovered, and oh man, This looks pretty cool. So you can see a lot of ice everywhere. Let's talk to the NPCs. Don't stray too far into the tunnels. If you need him, he'll be here. Wait for his expedition team to arrive. They should be here within 3 to 5 business days. Oh, goodness. So it looks like this is going to be a sort of maybe dungeon style thing that comes in 3 to 5 business days. So, 4 years, something like that. And we can warp back out with a ticket master if we want to. But there's a lot of things to uncover here. So there's this NPC, Plinius. Asks my name, say yes. He is a dwarven scout. We are about to head into the glaciate tunnels, yes. And apparently there is a new system, cold, which is similar to heat in the magma fields, but I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work. We're going to have to figure that out as we go. Apparently there's a lot of old glaciate mine shafts sitting around this area. Okay. When you're in the glaciate tunnels, you will get cold. As you get colder, your mining speed will decrease up to 50% and your speed cap will be lowered. Use certain items or Heart of the Mountain perks to keep warm for as long as possible. So I think it's about time we go over this Heart of the Mountain stuff. So Peak of the Mountain is still maxed at 7, but it's 70,000 Heart of the Mountain XP to get to tier 8, and then who knows what it is after that. I'm sure it's ridiculous. But there's a bunch of new perks. So there's Keen Eye. Whenever you enter a glaciate mineshaft, one highlighted hardstone block will contain 250 glaciate powder. So there is glaciate powder now, which if we look at skyblock levels, I'm sure is pretty crazy. We'll go to skill related tasks. Here we are. So glaciate powder maxes out at 20 mil. So there's another powder to grind for. I'm sure they've got some new drills, hopefully some new drills and some other things to increase your glaciate powder gain, maybe a new pet or something. But there's also this fossil research task, which you gain 10 XP per unique fossil donated to the research center. I'm not fully sure how that's going to work, but apparently there's 8 different unique types of fossils, which we'll have to figure out how that works here shortly. But in the glaciate tunnels, there's new gemstones and ores. You can find mine shafts and rare fossils and maybe dueling. So let's get our mining gear on. I haven't used this in a long time, but let's just look around here. So it looks like this is a new ore. Yep, this is tungsten. So this cobblestone here and these clay, I believe, are the tungsten, which gives a chisel, which is a dwarven forge or recipe, so you can be placed in the fossil excavator alongside a suspicious scrap to begin the excavating process. Okay, that's pretty cool. You get extra mining fortune for level 2, enchanted tungsten recipe, cold resistance potion, I'm sure that's useful. Grants cold resistance in the glaciate tunnels. Yeah, I bet that'll help us a lot. Refined tungsten, mining fortune, tungsten key can be used to open backpacks with a tungsten lock held by frozen corpses in the glaciate mine shafts. Okay, that's pretty cool. Tungsten plate, which I'm sure will be used for some new drills and things. I wonder if there's something better than gemstone at this point. That would be pretty cool. Okay, there's this new orange ore. Let's see what this is. This is umber, which can be used to make umber dice, which isn't in the game currently. Mining fortune, enchanted umber, excavator potion, refined umber, mining fortune, umber key. Can be used to open backpacks with an umber lock. Okay, so I'm guessing we're going to find backpacks around the mine shafts when we get to those, and we'll need different types of keys to unlock those. Let's see. Yeah, this is just sapphire. This is glaciate, so you can mine glaciate now. I wonder if you can mine it in the dwarven mines. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, it gives a chilled torch, which is coming soon, mining XP, enchanted glaciate, mining fortune, glaciate amalgamation, which I don't know what that's used for. We'll have to see. Frigid husk applies the glacial reforge when combined with a pickaxe, which grants 37 mining speed and 11.5 mining fortune and grants extra mining fortune for every cold you have. Okay, interesting. But I think you don't want cold, right? Or I'm at negative cold. Maybe I want positive cold. Interesting. Then there's mining fortune and a glaciate golem pet, which isn't in the game currently, but hopefully that will increase the glaciate powder, make that grind a little easier. And I'm curious if you can actually get glaciate powder in the dwarven mines. We'll have to check that out later. But I think that's all of the new collections right there. Yep, that's all of them. Sound of pickaxes. Okay, there's apparently... Oh, we are technically still in the dwarven mines, I guess. So this is just a part of the dwarven mines. So you can see when all of the stuff happens. So this is jade, of course. I'm guessing this is the other gemstone, the farming fortune one. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's peridot. That's the farming fortune one. Is this amethyst? Yes, it is. But wow, this is pretty cool. I'm curious how the portals and things work, because apparently the portals will spawn that take you to glaciate mine shafts. I'm gonna turn audio on. Maybe they have a sound cue. But this is a pretty big area. Of course, it is tunnels, so I'm sure it's pretty easy to get lost in here. But there's a lot of room in here, which I'm guessing this is onyx. Oh, I can't actually break this gemstone. I don't have enough breaking powder, and I have a breaking powder 10 drill. Huh. All right, well, I didn't actually end up going over all of this. So the Heart of the Mountain perks, you can also get cold resistance, receive more fossil dust from sources. I'm not sure how fossil dust works. We'll probably learn about that in a moment. Your first daily commission in each zone grants bonus powder. Very nice. Gain mining speed when mining tungsten or umber. Increase your chances of finding a suspicious scrap when mining in a glaciite mine shaft by 0.5. Okay, so I guess you just get these randomly when you're mining in mine shafts. Every time you enter a mine shaft, you receive a random buff. That's pretty clean. Grants extra mining speed while inside the mine shafts. Grants mining fortune when mining glaciite. Increases your chances of finding mine shafts when mining in the tunnels. Okay, so just by mining in the tunnels, you can spawn a mine shaft. Interesting. All right, we'll have to try that. But yeah, you can see I am at a decent amount of cold. I'm not sure if this will start dealing damage to us after a certain point, but I am freezing, so we'll have to see if we can find our way out of here. I don't even know how I got in here. Oh, there we are. Okay, but every time you enter back to the campsite, your cold is reduced back to 0. So I can go back in here and I've got 0 cold on the right side of my screen. I'm sure it'll pop up in a second. Yep, there it is. So there we are. Now let's check out this fossil excavator here. So place your chisel and a suspicious scrap in the relevant slots to start excavating. Exchange your leftover fossil dust for new fossils to excavate. So you can buy suspicious scraps as well, so that's pretty cool. Now I am gonna go ahead and see if I can make that chisel real quick, because it looks like we will need those. It costs a bejeweled handle and 64 tungsten, which maybe the guy has. Oh wait, you can just get these keys here as well. Oh, and there's a skeleton key which can be used to open any backpack. All right, well then I'm gonna grab a bunch of those. We'll take a scrap, but I'm getting distracted. I need to focus. There we go, we got a glaciite jewel. Alright, so we're going to take that, we're going to go dupe it, we'll make some bejeweled stuff, and then we should be chilling. Which, all of this new stuff is in the mining sack. It is not apparently elsewhere, so we'll have to see what the deal with that is. But there we go, we've got our chisel, so let's head back over to the tunnels, and then let's try this thing out. So we've got our suspicious scrap, we've got our chisel, and let's click to start excavating. We got, oh, we have 16 charges, so we get to click different charges in here. Okay, so this is very much like the matching game. It looks like nothing in there. I'm just gonna, okay, there's flawed citrine gemstone. All right, glaciite powder. Okay, so this must be the only way to get powder, because I haven't seen it from anywhere else. We were mining glaciite earlier. I don't know if we got powder. Actually, maybe we can't find it when we're mining until we get to the other, like the higher levels. Okay, so we didn't get a fossil in that one. But thankfully, we can actually just go get a bunch of scraps from this guy, as well as duplicate a bunch of these chisels. So we'll just do that and see if we can find a scrap that actually gives something good. Okay, so apparently how this works is you can find fossil dust inside of these suspicious scraps, and the goal is to find all of the dust before you run out of charges on your item. So this one we didn't have any scraps inside of it, unfortunately, but we can go ahead and try and grab some more. Didn't find any in this one again. You can just press E early to cancel out of it. We got some gold essence, so you can find that in here as well. Oh, so we found some dust. Uncover the rest of the fossil before running out of charges. So we've got to find the rest of this dust. So I don't want to waste too many charges if I can help it. Got 6 left. Let's see. We've only got 2 left. How close are we? Oh man, yeah, it's a big area. So I'm guessing there's certain shapes that you can find, and if you figure out what shapes there are. So there's this one. We'll see if we can find a few others. I found a few others already, but I wasn't paying attention because I didn't know how it worked. But I'm guessing there's some specific areas that you can go to, different corners and things, to figure out if there's a fossil in here or not. I'm just going to do random ones. Okay, so there's this shape. We've got 7 left. Did we find it? Or was there one spot over here or something? There were 2 spots over here. Man, okay, so there's that shape too. I'm just gonna try doing like a checkered board like that and see if we can find them that way. Okay, here's another one. All right, I think this is the one that we found earlier, so there will be a couple up here, right? Yeah, so it does seem like they are in different shapes, or like they're always in the same like order, so it's not that difficult or it won't be that difficult once you memorize all the shapes, but I'm not sure how many total shapes there are. That's going to be the hard part, is memorizing all of these different shapes. Hopefully there's like less than 10. That would be nice, but we'll have to see. But a lot of these are duds. There's nothing in the majority of these. So if we can find a fossil early on when we're digging, then that could be very, very useful for us, but it is not easy. Okay, here we go. If I can figure out what shape this is. Okay, this is a new one, I think. Okay, so it's shaped. Oh, that's a weird one. All right, hadn't seen that one before. Here's another one, and you can see as well when you're hovering over how much of the fossil you have excavated. So there's 30% done in this one, so I'm guessing we can probably figure out which fossil we have based on that over time. Unfortunately, I failed this one. So it was shaped kind of like a weird looking W or an anchor. I'm sure there's supposed to be specific bones, but okay, here's another one. 50% done. Okay, I'm not finding this one, unfortunately, but there's the shape. Okay, so we got pretty close on that. Unfortunate. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm guessing there's 8 different types because that's what it shows in the skills task here. There's 8 unique fossils, so that's probably what it is there's 8 unique shapes that you can find. And I'm not sure if they're going to give stats or if it's just going to be for SkyBlock XP, but I would guess that there's some good thing that you can get for finding them. I'm on such a dry streak right now, though. I've done like 10 in a row and not found a fossil in it. Oh, found one. I don't think I have enough charges left to get it, especially seeing as I've thrown. Okay, this is that weird shaped one. This is going to be the hardest one to get, I bet. That one's very, very odd. It's going to be hard to tell what shape it is in, even if you find it, like what angle it's at. Okay, I found that this strategy works the best doing different corners like this, because they're usually lodged in a corner, and I think this is that weird one. I don't know the shape well enough to find it. Yeah, so it was like the diagonal ones here. Yeah, I hate that. I found one. I don't think I'm gonna get it though. It's that weird shaped one again, isn't it? No, this is a new one. Okay, well, it's shaped like a J, but it depends on the angle you find it, but that's a new one. Okay, I found one. I think I get this one. Okay, there we go. We got it. It was the weird W shaped one. We finally found it. Holy, that was painful. So what happens here? You successfully excavated a webbed fossil. Dr. Stone will be very interested in your discovery. So we now have the webbed fossil. You can bring it over to Dr. Stone, who's right here. I didn't even see her. Prominent paleontologist from lands afar. Been able to set myself up down here for a short while in search of rare fossils. I know the risk of doing so, but I just love research. Always on the lookout for suspicious scraps when I'm mining around the glacial mine shafts, which I sometimes find when in the tunnels. If you ever find a scrap when mining in a mine shaft, simply put it in the fossil excavator over there. All right, find a fossil, show it to me. Here you go. Donate a fossil to me, I'll show you how to turn it into a pet. That way, if you ever find another, you can keep it. Okay, so the first one she keeps. After that, you can turn it into a pet. Donate your wood fossil and receive rewards in return. Okay, this removes the fossil from your inventory. Okay, there you go. It gives 5,000 Harlem Mountain experience, a ton of glacial powder, some SkyBlock XP, and some mining XP. Not quite sure how to find fossils. Okay, so step 6, donate or restore fossil. After obtaining fossil from the excavator, you can donate to Dr. Stone. After donating fossil, you'll also unlock a new dwarven forge recipe, allowing you to turn that fossil into a new type of pet. Okay, so we can warp to the forge and check out what is in here, which it looks like if these are it, it's going to require Harlem Mountain tier 10, and I'm guessing that is going to be the case. So for us to figure out what pets are available to us, we'll have to get Harlem Mountain level 10. Maybe some of them are available here at level 9 and level 8, but it does not appear to be in the forge at the moment. Actually, according to the alpha fossils obtained, will eventually be a method to obtain new pets. So this is currently unavailable at the moment. So we'll get those new pets in the future, but they're not here right now. Anyways, I want to try one more thing before we log off for the day. So make sure to subscribe. I have stayed up until way past my bedtime to do this, so I'd greatly appreciate it. But I want to try to spawn one of these glacial mine shafts. Apparently when you're mining, there's a chance that they spawn, so we're gonna try that, and then I think that'll be everything that we do for tonight. I'm gonna wait to really grind this most likely until I can actually get some rewards for it, you know. I'm guessing Bow Pet doesn't really work here. Unfortunately, I sold my Scatha Pet, so I'm not sure what mining pet I'm gonna use. Let's see if Armadillo works. Armadillo does not, so that's gonna be another hindrance to Armadillo. He does not work here. Unfortunate. We'll run a Mithril Golem then, I suppose. Oh, there it is. Mineshaft portal. Click to enter. There we go. That literally took me like 10 seconds, which they said it's going to be a lot easier to spawn them on the alpha. So I'm I'm sure it'll be different on the main server. But let's jump in here. I'm going to swap to my G-Dragon. We'll just see how this goes. There's Glaciite Cavers, which they've got a lot of health. Do they hurt? Not too bad, but that's new bestiaries. Interesting. So there's Glaciite Maniac, Glaciite Cavers, Glaciite Bowmans, Mages, and Mutts, and they drop Glaciite shards as well as fine gemstones of the new gemstones, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna take one of these skeleton keys as well, just in case we spawn something interesting, which right here, that's a corpse. So we right clicked him, we got frozen corpse loot, we get a bunch of powder, goblin egg, enchanted umber, some gemstones, and some citrine gemstones. So that's a commission as well, which, let's see, the mineshaft entrance has caved in. It doesn't look like anyone else will be able to get in here, and there's no reception in here. All right, so I'll have to call and see later what the options are, but we can open this as well, get more frozen corpse loot, which apparently these keys actually work or have a chance to not break, but they do break on occasion. But we got oil barrels, diamond essence from that, some more glaciite powder, and some other things from the other one. But there's different types of corpses in here. I wonder, can we mine blocks? Oh, it is like crystal hollows. Okay, so things actually disappear around here. I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna work, but we're gonna see how we do. I'm just gonna go to a straight line and see if there's an edge to this. Yes, okay, so there's bedrock walls on the outside. What happens if we go down? There's bedrock on the bottom as well. And you can't use abilities in this room, or you can't teleport in this room. Okay, so AOTE does not work, and it would appear that my right click on Hyperion doesn't actually move me anywhere, which is interesting. But okay, so there's different areas over here we can find some mages in, which they seem to be pretty magic damage resistant, which is interesting. But let's look at these bestiaries as well. What do they max out at? So it is actually just one bestiary. Glaciite Maniacs is a whole bestiary, so all of these guys count as one. You gotta kill 4,000 of them to max it. Man, that's a lot. That is a decent amount. And we can as well go back up and exit whenever we want to, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, it does look like there's gonna be some new drills added to the game. We'll have to check if they're in museum, because again, I tried to break one of those gems earlier and I couldn't, even with breaking power 10. So I'm wondering if breaking power goes like up to 15 or 12 or 11 now, because again, I'm using a 655 drill, so perhaps you need a Devon's drill to do some of these, or hopefully they've added some new drills that don't require you to get Devon's drill, but we'll have to see. And mole does actually work in here, so hopefully it'll be a little easier to find certain places if there's actually any other locations around here. But I think it's just gonna be what you see in the main area for the most part. There are some stuff like closely attached, but it doesn't look like there's too much out there. But I think multiple people can enter the same area as well, because you saw after I got in here, it said that the mineshaft entrance caved in, so nobody else could enter, but I'm guessing people could enter before that caved in, so that's pretty cool. And you can see frostbite is now a thing, so if you get too cold, it looks like below 90 cold, or maybe after we get below 100 it'll actually start killing me, because it hasn't started killing me yet. So it works about the same as heat then. So once we get to that amount of cold, I'm sure we will not be able to do anything. We will freeze to death, we won't be able to mine, and eventually we'll die if it doesn't one-shot us. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm sure that'll be dependent on our cold resistance. And there it is. I think we froze to death. Unfortunate. But let's check museum real quick, see what the new items are called, if they're in here. And it doesn't look like they are. Double check weapons. No. Any new armor sets? It doesn't seem like it. So whatever the new stuff is, they want us to find it on our own. It's not going to be easy to get to, but I'm sure somebody will be crazy enough to grind it all out on alpha. So if you guys want me to be that crazy guy, smash the sub button, smash the like button, and I will catch you in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.